Here are 20 sneaky details in Despicable Me 4. Number 1. Do you know why none of the villains helped Maxime Le Mal when he was captured by the AVL? Now this is actually because everyone left their weapon at the door and were disarmed before they even went in. Number 2. When Gru stole Lenny the honey badger with Poppy, he actually forgot to remove its collar because inside it actually had a tracker, and that's exactly how the school principal and Maxim found him. Number 3. Did you know Poppy is the one who bullied Margot at the school? Now this scene was not shown on screen, but it was actually Poppy who set up the prank in her locker in order to get Gru's attention. Number 4. Now if you look at all the guests, one of them is actually Minion from Megamind, and that means he actually graduated with Gru, which surprisingly makes him part of Class 1985. Number 5. Now Poppy is actually a huge BTS fan, which are one of the biggest Korean boy group, because if you look at the back of her phone cover, you can clearly see their name and logo, which makes her an army, since that's what their fan base is called. Number 6. If you look closely, the trash can in the AVL hideout weirdly looks like the Minion. And that's not just it, because if you look at the QR code on Gru's AVL badge, it also looks like the Minions as well. Number 7. Maxime Le Mal's robot looks exactly like the robot we saw in The Incredibles that was built by Syndrome. And this is surprising because there were many theories that Despicable Me actually stole characters from The Incredibles, including Baby Gru, who looks exactly like Jack Jack. Also, if you look at all the villains where Maxime Le Mal was caught, you can see one character weirdly looks like The Incredibles, wearing the same mask. Number 8. You might have noticed the cockroach army never helped in any of Maxime Le Mal's fights. And that's because even though they were shown as this big army, they were only used for engineering and surveillance. Number 9. Did you know Poppy's dad was inspired by Elvis? Now this is quite obvious if you look at his hairstyle, since it looks very similar to Elvis. Number 10. Another detail is actually Gru's car, because its license plate actually have a meaning. So the letter DM stands for Despicable Me, and the number is actually the date where the first movie was released, which is July 9th, 2010. Number 11. You might not know this, but Gru also have a huge love for art, and even stole them, because if you look into his house, its walls are actually filled with different paintings, including the famous Mona Lisa, which he actually stole when he was younger with Wild Knuckles. Number 12. You might have noticed every villain since the first movie were all actually seen at the end. Number 13. Have you noticed Valentina also have an insect body just like Maxim? Now you might have noticed Maxime Le Mal's body change during the award, but that's not true because his body was actually just like that. All along, even before the event, he just hit it very well. And that's actually why he wears a glove, because his hands were the only thing that would give him away. And in fact, the only time we see his hands is during a flashback when he was young. And surprisingly, we've also never seen Valentina's skin since she covers everything. And just like Max, she always wears a glove, which only means she's also turned to an insect. Number 14. Do you know what this poster actually means? Well, this is actually a song called Butter by Poppy's favorite boy band BTS, which is another clue that Poppy is a BTS fan. Number 15. Did you know Poppy have a poster of Gru on the wall? And this is actually from the first movie when he stole the moon, which shows that she really likes it. Number 16. Now, if you look at her room, she actually have a flying shoes, and that's actually why she's always wearing this glass for the wind. Number 17. Did you know Poppy is actually a streamer? And you can clearly see her phone and the ring light, and even her room and chairs are actually built for streaming. Number 18. Even though Gru was sent to Mayflower to hide from Maxime Le Mal, he still wore clothes with his signature G on them. Number 19. Even though Gru sent his dog and the goat back to the AVL, he still came here with the Minions, which actually attract a lot of attention since no one have them. And to make things worse, they even wore clothes with G on them to show that they are Gru's.